Okay. Do you have any questions from previous chapters? Oh, sorry, from previous sessions. Not previous. Yeah.
For me, no.
Okay. So let me recap for you a little bit before we move on. Tap into my slide. Give me a second. Hello.
Teacher.
Yeah.
So I have one question regarding this PPF. Can you actually explain how it is calculated?
Sorry, give me a second. My slide seemed error. Okay. It's gonna be it's already error here. I can post. Give me a second. I'm checking my slide a little bit. It seems there was an error happening. Give me a second, okay? Hello. Hello. Can you see my slide right back?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Thanks. Okay. Can I just have your question again, please?
Teacher, it was from me. So
Yes.
regarding the PPF, can you explain how it is calculated from this table?
Oh, actually, this one we don't have enough information. This one is just the example for you, okay? But we realize that if we just realize here, we have the equation here. Okay, we have y. That is for the US, okay? That is for US. Equals to this one 6 units per hour. And every time W. And then plus plus 4C, okay? That is for US. That is the production function for US. Is that all right?
So when we draw the graph, we apply this, right, teacher?
You can use this equation for US, okay?
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Yeah. And if you want to use this, okay, you just use this equation, okay? Còn này
So teacher, did you ask me something?
Môi Hiền, Hiền, Charlie Hiền, not Môi Hiền. Can you come again, please?
It's okay now, teacher. I'm okay now. Thank you.
Okay, very good, thanks. Okay, how about the others? Maybe I can give you a few more minutes if you need to look at it again. Just have a few minutes, look back to the previous part. If you have any question, just let me know.
Teacher, I actually lost connection in the last session. Teacher, can you re-explain about the example of comparative advantage again, teacher?
Okay, noted. I will. Are there any concerns?
Just the example of competitive advantage, teacher. The previous slide,
Yes,
number 1.
I will. Okay, earlier just questions from me. He already understood how we draw the PPF. And then what we were discussing for the first sessions, we discussed about the comparative advantage, okay? Comparative, let me see, I think you have seen my slide already. You look back to the comparative advantage here. Give me, okay. But here, you see that this is the comparative advantage, okay? This is the idea of the Ricardos, and then so you can look at this example. Suppose we have this information, we can call this one as the comparative advantage, since we do not have any calculations. So you just do a very slight or simple calculation, you will see, meaning to say that if the US would like to have 1 unit of width or 1 parcel of width, US need to give up with this amount of clothes, okay? Same thing, if UK wants to have 1 parcel of width, UK need to give up 2 units of clothes. So you compare the giving up production here, this one 2/3, less than 1. This one is almost, this one is 2, this one is highest. So within this small calculation, you can see that US has the comparative advantage in terms of producing width because they can't because they give up less than the UK. Is that clear now? And how can we calculate this? You need to use this information to calculate it, okay? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. How come the US has a comparative advantage in width? Because they both consume 1 hour. They both can produce 1 at 1 hour.
Because you need to look at this, because we are comparing, let's look at the definition again. A country has a comparative advantage in producing a good if the opportunity cost, see that? If the opportunity cost of producing that good in terms of other goods is lower in that country that it is in other countries. Okay.
Oh, okay, sir. I understand, sir.
It's all right. So you are comparing the opportunity cost line. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Thanks. Are there any further concerns? Are there any concerns? If not, we can move on, right?
No, teacher, no.
Are there any further concern from your side?
No, teacher, not from me.
Okay, so we continue next. So this one, I already discussed to you the properties or the regions of the production possibility frontiers. There are 3 major properties. The first one is this one, that is called underutilized resources. And this one is the productive maximums, and this one is the unattainable with existing resources and technology. Okay. And can you just have a look with this graph for a few minutes, this slide, and then tell me what do you think about this? Let's look at the slide, this slide for a few minutes, and tell me what do you think about this. Okay. So what do you think about this? What do you think about this production possibility from T-Model? Any ideas about this? Kumhor, seems you are not here.
Hello, lecturer. For
Okay.
me, from what I can see here is that So based on the productions possibility frontier of the US, we can see that the US can actually produce 90 wheat and 60 clothes, while the UK they can actually produce 40 wheat and 40 clothes, and this is without them doing trade with each other. However, if they doing trade with each other, I think the the production's possibility frontier would be different from this. I think it could actually exceed the line when they trade.
Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Kim Ho, for your trying. What I note, you should notice here, okay, that is the consumption here. So meaning to say that they produce both goods, okay? Meaning to say if there is the absolute trade, both countries need to produce both goods in order to make their own consumption. Okay. Suppose that this one is the US case, this one is the UK case, okay? Meaning to say that both of them, the most important thing that you need to notice here, both countries produce both products, okay? Produce both goods. Of course, they can produce with the different, sorry, they can have the consumption with the different patterns here. This 190 wheat and 60 close, while the UK just only 40 wheat and 40 closest. Okay, we cannot say anything about the consumption differences here. Okay, there might be because of the preferences. There might be because of the populations. There might be because of the other factors which influence to their consumption patterns. Okay. However, what we notice with both countries here, they allocate their resources in order to produce both goods, clothes and wheat. Okay. And you're right, Kim Ho, if there's the absence of trade, this one is the consumption for US, this one is the consumption for UK. But if they are allowed to trade, they will change they will reallocate their resources. Okay. And then if there is trade with the PPM model, can specialization and trade lead to more aggregate production and consumption? Yes, of course. If the US specialize in wheat production and the UK in close production, this one we pass on the comparative advantage, okay? And that the aggregate production would increase from 130 watts to 180 and from 100 close to 120, okay? So this one, if they reallocate their resources in order to produce particular products that they realize they have the specialization in, okay? And yeah, that's what I can tell you right now. And then if you look at this, see that they change their resource allocations. For this one, they just produce this, their productions. They just give up producing clothes. They just produce only rich with this amount, and then they do the trade together with the price that we yes. This one is the productions of the US, and then with the price that we noticed earlier, this is the new consumptions, and this one also the same. UK we allocate all the resources producing clothes, and then the consumption will come to here. Okay, so far so good.
Not good here, sir. Can you explain this part again?
Which ones, Sonita?
The current one, like not so clear about this.
The current ones, which ones?
In like the graph that the two countries trade with each other, like how?
Okay, let's see this slide again. Okay, this is suppose that this is the in autarky. In autarky, meaning to say that there is no trade happens, or you can call this one as the initial situations. Okay, UK and US need to produce both goods, and then they can consume with this one. Okay. Okay, and this one UK can consume this one. And then when they would like to do the trade, and then they need to ask this question first. If I allow trade, do I think that my specialization degree could be higher than before, and my aggregate production and consumption would be higher too? That's a big questions for UK and US. Okay, needs to ask, and then if they agree to do that, if they ask this question and then they figure out that they have a specialization in terms of each product, US realize that they have a specialization in terms of the wheat productions, while the UK they understand that they have the specialize in clothes productions. Okay. Here, specialize in here, we need to look at to the comparative advantage. Okay, that is what we are referring to. And then if there is the case, US can just try to allocate all the resources. Okay, not producing both goods, but producing only one good. That is the width. Okay, and UK will try to reallocate the resources more in terms of producing clothes. That's why if the US allocate all the resources to produce the wheat, they can produce 180 units. Okay. While if the UK agree together that UK will produce only clothes, so if the UK allocate all the resources that they have to produce clothes, they can produce 120. And then if they already agree to do trade together with a certain price, and then US will bring the which to the UK will bring back close to the US, and then you can realize the consumption gonna be higher. Okay. Is that all right, Sunita?
Yes, thank you.
Very good, thanks.
Teacher, I have a question, teacher.
Yes, please.
Teacher, how can we calculate to find the best number to trade when we specialize the product? For example, like how can we know that the US has to trade 70 wheat? Why not above or not below like that?
Yes, you're right. They're very good questions. That is for the ideal productions or the optimal productions. This one just keep it in your mind first. I will try to find time for the exercises, and then I will try to explain you further. Okay, just keep this in mind.
Yes.
We will find some time for doing the exercises together for the comparative advantage, and then don't forget to remind me to bring you to this area. Okay, how to optimize the productions. Okay, reallocation productions. Okay, yep. Okay, please note it down, Ming, and then please let me know when we do the exercises together, because we need to have some calculation first. Okay. Yeah. Okay,
yes,
Eddie,
yes.
Any other concern?
Hello, lecturer. I have a question.
Yes, come home, please.
Yes. Well, I actually understand the concept, but I'm just not pretty sure with the calculation, especially in the previous slide lecture. The previous slide that no lecture. Go back. Go. Yes, this one. Yes, this one. Yeah. So they said that if the US specialized in wheat productions and the UK in cloth productions, aggregate productions would increase from 130 wheat to 180 wheat. So at that point over there, how can we calculate it? Like to know how much it increased? Like how can we know that it's 180 wheat? Yeah, lecturer. I just want to ask about that one.
Okay, yeah, that's a very good question too. I will bring you together when we discuss a little bit further about the standard models, because we need to look at the production functions in more details, and we need to look at the consumption function also in more details, and then we need to find the tangent line between these two, and then we can up to that too. I believe that. At this one, we just make our, let me give you a little further. So this one, there will be another story that I will talk to you also, Kim Hua, but let me try to make it easy for you first. For the US. Okay, let's look at this. Yep, that is true. This one, like I discussed to you earlier, Kim-Hoo, you need to realize that we need to look at the consumption patterns, another story, and that is to be the tension between these two. But at the moment here, the aggregate production for the whole world, the aggregate production for the whole world just increased from 130 to 180 for the wheat, okay? And for the close, it increased from 100 to 120 as the how I can say this, as the global productions. Yes, global productions. Could we have only two countries? So I suppose that just only two countries, and then we can call it the global productions. Is it make sense to you at the moment?
Yes, lecturer. I actually understand the concept, lecturer, but just want to know how to calculate that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I tried to calculate it on my paper, but it doesn't show 180. Yeah,
Let's
just
see
want
this
to
way.
know how to calculate it.
Let's see this way. Yeah, I know what you means. This one, they produce 90, correct? For wheat and 90 for close, right? Come here. For US. And then this
Yes,
this one they produce 40 for wheat and 40 for close, right? So in the aggregate productions, US produce 90 and UK produce 40. What is the aggregate productions, or what is the global productions? That should be 130, right?
yes, lecturer. Yes.
130 wheat and 40 C for the closed. US produce 60 and UK produce 40, and then the aggregate production or the global production, that should be 100, right?
Yes,
Correct.
lecturer. Yes.
And then when we move this, if the US decided to reallocate their resources, and then they will spend all their resources in terms of producing only wheat, they will produce this one, right? And how can we come up with 180? I think you also can refer back to our information about that I just wrote down for you the equation. Okay, yeah. And if the UK decided to reallocate their resources for the production too, and then other resources contribute to the close, so it's going to come to 120. Okay, and then when you come up with this, you just look at the production in detail again. So the aggregate production, this one should be 180 for which, right? Because US gonna produce this, and for the close gonna be 120 for the UK. And if you look at the previous slide, this one increased from 130 to 180 because 180 will be produced by the US, and increase from 110 to 120. 120 will be produced by the UK. Am I making you clear now, Kim Hua?
Yes, I see, lecturer. Yeah, I understand now.
Okay, very good. Thanks. For the other complicated concept, like I discussed to you, we will discuss further in the standard model. Okay, you will see more a little bit complicated, but at least the concept should be understood first. But at least you understood the concept, right? Okay, good. Okay. Okay. Any other concerns? I also forgot to tell you one thing that is very important too. Sorry, moving from the absolute advantage to comparative advantage. Like I discussed to you, if you look at to the high income country or the advanced country, they will have more absolute advantage in most of the products and services, right? And comparative advantage here, another story. So when they observe the less trading volumes, when the people observe the less trading volumes, when they use this concept, that's why they are curious. Why? That's why whether the Adam Smith concept is still realistic in the society. That's why we observe small trading volume, and then David Ricardo introduced this one. And then within this concept, they observed that the trading volume between the developing country and developed country seems to be increasing. Okay, seem to be increased. That is what I missed to tell you. Okay. It comes to this because people observe the trading volume between the developing country and developed country is small. And then they figure out, and then David Ricardo introduced this after introducing this concept, and then they observe the highest trading volume between developing country and developed country. If people still believe in Adam Smith's concept, there might be there's no, not saying no, but very less trading between developing and developed country, right? Yeah, that's the case. Okay, that's why there's some limitation in terms of the absolute advantage. It comes to comparative advantage. Yeah, that is what I missed for you. So I already compliment this. Okay, so let me hear from your side. Are there any further concern? Davin, is that all right?
Not in clear, sir. I'm fine.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe I may give you another 5 minutes to look at the slide again, or because I don't think that I can move to another module, seeing the next module is very long. I cannot finish within 10 or 15 minutes. So that's why I'm still working on this area again. Okay. Let me see first if next week we can look at the exercises that I can prepare for you. Okay. To see the real numbers, how it's going to come up with such kind of things. Yeah, sometimes I also confuse, to be very honest, calculating those kind of things. In the real world, those kind of things, comparative advantage and absolute advantage, we don't use our hand to calculate. Since there's only two products, we can look at that. If that is 100 or a thousand range of product and services, how can we calculate that? So the system could help us. That's why some people just use the systems to track whether which ones they can have this, and that they need to open to the free trade agreements. Like you noticed too, Cambodia now they're trying to have the free trade agreement with China, and also trying to have free trade agreement with the South Korea. And our next destination would be Japan and India, and some of Japan and India, and yeah, I think they're the two major ones after South Korea. Okay, so these are the concept of this. Free trade agreement very crucial for us for our current situation. Some of the macroeconomists believe that the free trade agreement could be one of the potential policy for the economic recovery for Cambodia. Okay, yep, economy, yep. That's why we are trying to look at the other destination for the free trade agreements. Okay. Okay. So I'll give you another 3 minutes to look at the slide again, and then if you have any question, just let me know. Okay. Or any others? Any other concern about the trade in general? Like I discussed to you, it hardly permits to move to the next module. It's a little bit long. Okay. Yeah. Have you ever been through the have you ever been through the concept of the sorry, not been through the concept. Have you ever been through the article about the RCEP, regional economics, RCEP, regional? Let me think about full words. Comprehensive partnership, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever read those kind of things?
Yes, sir. We used to read about it, but right now it's not famous, so we don't keep up.
Oh, it's not famous. Okay.
There is no news of it.
Okay. Okay. I'm really curious that when you say it is not famous. So how can you identify whether which free trade agreement is famous and which one is not famous? Okay.
If it is famous, there will be a lot of talk about it right now, sir, but now it's very silent.
Okay.
Right now, we are concerned with FTA with China more.
Okay. Okay. You're right. Okay. Yeah.
Lecturer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question. So I would like to know more about your perspective. Like what since and yeah, since we can see the absolute advantage, comparative advantage, we're talking about trade. So and then especially the free trade agreement. So Cambodia, from Cambodia perspective, we did not have a lot of these advantage if we comparing to other countries, especially even our ASEAN members. So why we still like craving, or why we still seeking for the free trade agreement? Because we experiencing trade deficit, and then most of the product we depending on import. So why we still very seek for the free trade agreements? Yes, sure. That's my question.
Yeah. Lihut, yes, I believe most of the answer you can refer back to the the module of the international introduction to international trade. You will see the benefits and why people decided to do the trade together. Okay. And that is the many reason that you can look at, but I just add a little bit further about the clarification here. You imagine that imagine that if you don't do the trade with China or with the South Korea, how can you have the how can I say this? How can I have the varieties of product and services to be used? Okay. Trade deficit. I think one of the main important things is about the varieties of the used product and services that are available in our economy, and also also the spillover of some of the technology advancements or improvements, and also competition also bring the growth. That's the other thing that I can add up to the material that you have seen. We need competition in order to boost our growth. If we don't have any competition, it's hardly for us to grow. And regarding to trade deficit, you need to understand that it doesn't mean all the time trade deficit is bad. Okay, if you look at to the statistic of the U.S., there's also still trade deficit. As I remember correctly. Meaning to say that from 1950s until 2000 and 2000 something, I did not remember the year well. Just only the first decade, the first decade from 1950 to 1960s, the trade in US is just like stagnant. Stagnant means truth. How can we say this? The balance of payments got trade. If you compare the export and import, it come quite similar. So it's about the balance of payment equal to almost zero. Okay, but after that, we also observe a very huge trade deficit in the U.S. Okay, So sometimes it doesn't mean study physics is always bad. Of course, the negative impact of having the imported product in the economy, we could not deny it. We could not deny about that. But if you look at the positive side of the having the imported products or bringing new industry to the economy or bringing new quality products to the country, might be also a good idea to make us move forward. Okay, that is what I can say to you, Lipa. Is that sound good enough for you?
Yeah, yes, lecturer. Thank you for the sharing and explanation.
Very good. Yes. For the exams, for the exam, you may refer to the material that we have been through together. Okay, there are several factors that why people came. Sorry, why the country decided to do the trade. I think you also need to observe this one. Just open a bracket a little bit. We also trying to join the other regional members, regional group members lately, but since we are not yet moving to that stage, we need to develop ourselves a little bit further before joining that stage. Okay, I mean the regional group. We nowadays have several particular important regional group like Asian members, like WTO, like OECD, also Cambodia one of that, and TTP also one of that. Yeah, and I think there should be another one still. I forgot that. Okay, it is not an OPEX, but yeah, there's still some more to be continued for Cambodia economy in this context. Okay, I hope I give you some insight about this, Liu. Okay. Are there any doubt or any concern or any suggestion you want me to address further? Yeah, I think that it's very curious. As you all seem very curious about the discussion. Oh, sorry, discussion. I should say discussion, not discussing. Okay, I think we are also being together. Sorry, just a little bit over the terms to the regional economy. Yeah, because I discussed to you earlier that I might think about whether it's good after your presentations there should be the Q&A or panel discussions. So I think it would be a good idea if you also need towards your panelists. It would be a good idea to have the panel discussion a little bit when you finish your presentations. Okay, in the regional economy, let me make my decision right now, and then you can have enough time to prepare yourself too. Okay. Is that all right? Hello.
Yes, sure, yes.
Okay, come over.
Yes, lecturer.
Okay, so you also need to be ready for the panel discussion after the presentation. Okay, I'll try my best to be your moderators. I cannot say I understand everything or I can know everything about your materials, but I will try my best to give some insights to moderate our discussion too. So please be very ready for that. The panelists can be three. Yes, can be three people for one session. Okay, yeah. So you need to arrange your team members to okay. After finished presentations, there will be Q&A, and after that, there will be the panel discussions. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. I think that should be all from my side. If you don't have any further concern or suggestions, maybe we can rest. We are a bit early today. Yeah. I think last time I also overtime for your class, so it's all right. No further concerns. Okay, so give me a quick wrap up for you for today's session. Okay, at least what you need to remember for today, not remember, what you need to keep in mind for today's session is this, okay? One about the trade evolution that I discussed to you, and overall about the trade theory already, from the prehistory until the 21st century. And then for the next one, you need to understand about the what is absolute advantage and how we can observe it, and comparative advantage, how we can observe it. And then we also need to look at to the how we construct, how to trade model with the how the trade can do with the PPF model. So okay, and what is the impact when they look at to the PPF model for the trade. Okay, that's it for the today's sessions. Okay. Okay, so the last word. Are there any concerns? No.
Teacher, we don't have homework this week, right?
Okay, let you have a rest for this week, right? Okay. No homework for this week, it's okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're very welcome.
One question.
Yes, you go ahead, please.
Regarding to late submissions about the quiz, is that okay if we submit the quiz kind of late, 1 or 2 minutes?
I need, please wait for the next quiz, okay? Yeah. Yes, please wait for the next quiz. Yeah.
So it means that if we submit late for the quiz, it means that the quiz is 0.
Yeah, I don't think that a good idea is to be accepted for the others to write. To be fair, that should be not good to do so, right? Yeah.
Okay, I got that. Thank you.
So please wait for the next quiz.
So you mean it's gonna be a 0, not a deductions?
The first one gonna be because there was a learner also asked me about the late, but he I forgot whether he or she got the very wrong files missing. It is not about the doing late. It is just about the technical error, or I don't know what was happening, but it's just like it just uploaded, he or she just uploaded the wrong file. So this one is going to be all right. It should be acceptable. But if that is not like this, I don't think we can work it out. Okay. Is that all right, Dahlia?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, very good. Thanks. Okay, so I think that should be all from my side. Again, thank you so much for today's session, and have a good rest. Okay. See you on Thursday. Yeah.